Did the UA traitor just got revealed? A question that I've been asking myself while reading this chapter. Let's break it all down while explaining this S tier of a chapter. The chapter opens up with Deku saying to himself that I have to break free from Ida's grip, but I can't because I don't have enough power left. Uraraka then disables her quirks and both Ida and Deku falls down from the sky. Luckily for them, Kirishima is there to catch them. Ida then asks Kirishima, how the hell did you catch us? Like, we were from the sky and now we are here and you catched us immediately, in the right time and in the right place. And Kirishima basically said it was Endeavor's order. So that's actually a flashback towards where Deku and Bakugo and Shoto trained in the Endeavor agency, and basically Endeavor was the one that have the most experience, so he knows where those people need to get catched and everything. So that was a really nice detail to see. Minashido then asks Deku to come back to UA so they can have a class together. But he says, I want that, but I will end up putting all of you in danger. Bakugo then intervenes as always by asking Deku to UA after Shigaraki attacked, and then Deku replies with, I don't remember. Bakugo then says, don't try to win this on your own. He then explains and says about his true feelings towards Deku and says, I always felt that you were looking down on me, so I was afraid of your potential. We then see Bakugo and Deku growing up and talking to each other from like when they were kids till they are grown up in the UA uniforms. Bakugo then calls Deku by his real name Zuko and bows his head and apologizes for everything that he has done to Deku. And then he says, All Might and each one of the One For All users is doing the right thing, but there is a limit to how much a one person can do. He then asks Deku to share his burden with Bakugo and everyone else of Class 1A by protecting both the UA school and the civilian by winning and saving and winning. Deku is shocked and surprised by Bakugo's talk. He then proceeds to apologize because he told them that they can't keep up with him, but he then passes out. Luckily for him, Bakugo catches him before he falls. The chapter then flashes forward towards Class 1A when they are entering the UA school. The hero, number 13, is there, and we finally get to see her full face. They then enter the UA barrier, and when they enter, it activates, and a giant iron piece appears. The students start talking and bragging about the defense system in school, saying it can't be defeated. But for them, the civilians just came in and says, we don't want Deku to be here. Do you realize how much danger he is to the society right now? He's the villain's main target, and his own presence is dangerous. Deku then hears all of them and proceeds just to leave, but luckily for him, Uchaka grabs his hand and tells him it's okay. She says in her mind that she doesn't want to waste the potential of Ida and the other Class 1A to go wasted. The final page of the chapter says, who will save heroes when they are in pain? We then see Uchaka Uraraka turning her back. So that's how this amazing chapter ends. Now I gotta say, this chapter was, especially like this chapter, does like a complete arc kind of thing for a couple of characters and shows how mature they are getting, which is really nice. But in the same time, it kind of like got me to see that the UA traitor is actually Uchaka Uraraka. I know, before you judge, this is just a theory that I want to just talk about it briefly, and it might be wrong, it might be right, so don't take it to heart, okay? So first, in this chapter specifically, while I was reading it, when I was looking at the page that Uraraka is in it, I checked, and in one of them, there was actually a picture where both like Sugar Rush and the other hero are moving forward, but Uchaka is behind them, and her face is not showing. So I think that's like a little Easter egg that shows Uchaka Uraraka is like the UA traitor. Now you might be saying that's not enough proof to say that she is the traitor. Well, yeah, you're correct, but hear me out. Now we know that Uchaka Uraraka have financial problems with her family, and she just like entered UA for the most part to get money. What if, like the League of Villains for example, or All For One let's say, tells Uchaka Uraraka that if you, for example, work for us as a UA trader, then we might be able to, give your family financials, or he might have even threatened her family that if she doesn't save them, this might happen, for example. Now, here's the thing, if Uraraka is the main traitor or like the UA traitor, that doesn't mean that she's gonna like end up being a villain or something. That's not the case. We know that, everyone of Class 1A had his own arcs and his own changes. We saw like Bakugo, for example, being like not a really nice character in the first, but now he's proceeding to be a nice hero and a nice person in general. So I think it's kind of like the same thing, but in different genre. I think Utaka Uraraka will basically say to herself that, or like explain to Class 1A that I'm the traitor from all along, but you guys like changed my heart or something. I think that would be really nice to say. So anyway, that's for the UA traitor theory. About what's going to happen next, I feel like this is all part of All For One's plan. He knew that Class 1A is going to rescue him, and also yesterday when I talked about what's going to happen next in the chapter, I told you that if Furukoshi Sensei decided to go with this way of Deku just like going with Class 1A, this will be like what will happen, and if he goes alone, this will happen. So anyway, I feel like this is all part of All For One's plan that he's trying to show Deku. I think he will be attacking like in a really close time, for example, or like he will show up out of nowhere. Maybe if Utaka Uraraka or one of Class 1A is the traitor, he will find a way to open the doors or open the security systems for the UA school, and then they will emerge and take Deku, for example. So anyway, that's what I think is going to happen next. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this summary. If you want to find the full summary of this chapter, then feel free to click the link in the description. I have been the Manga Viewer, and I'll see you all next time.